I knew something was wrong the moment I spotted a grown man doing cannonballs into my private pond, while two others sprawled out in lawn chairs that weren't mine. One of them was even casting my fishing rod like it was borrowed from a community shed. But the real jaw-dropper came when a woman in a floppy sun hat and oversized sunglasses, self-proclaimed ruler of the neighborhood, locked eyes with me mid-margarita and said, "Chill, Ethan, it's HOA approved." That was when it hit me. I'd moved next door to someone who thought her Facebook posts rewrote property laws. 3 months earlier, I'd settled into what I thought was my dream retreat, a snug house nestled in a semi-rural neighborhood where the stars still shone at night and the frogs chorused by the water outdid any playlist I could have curated. I'd worked hard for this place, a sprawling patch of land with a pond that curved like a lazy question mark just off the deck. It was my haven. For a few weeks it stayed that way, peaceful, quiet mine. Then came the knock. I opened the door to find a woman who introduced herself as Melinda Carver, manicured nails, clipboard in hand, wearing a sweater way too heavy for spring. She flashed a smile that felt rehearsed. "Welcome to the neighborhood, Ethan. I'm the HOA president. Here's your guidelines binder and a little zucchini bread. We enforce curb appeal, no tacky flamingos or gnomes." I blinked at enforce. The binder she handed me was hefty enough to prop a door open, complete with colored tabs, photos of lawns marked with green checks or red X's, and a mission statement proclaiming, "A tidy street is a joyful street." Thing is, there was no formal HOA. I checked the listing before buying. No fees, no board, no hassle. She must have noticed my pause because she added, "It's more of a community effort, really. We all pitch in. I just keep it organized." I thanked her, tucked the binder under my arm like an old textbook, and shut the door. Didn't think much of it until the first Saturday in June. That morning I stepped onto my deck with coffee and a book, only to freeze. My yard was a circus, kids, adults, coolers stuffed with snacks, a Bluetooth speaker blaring pop hits. In the middle of my pond floated a giant inflatable pink flamingo with two teens sipping from red cups. I stood there stunned until I spotted her, Melinda. She lounged on my dock, sunglasses perched, sipping from a wine glass, surrounded by women chatting like it was a VY New Year tour. I marched down, jaw tight, dodging a stranger's towel. "Melinda," I called. "Oh, hi, Ethan." She waved. "Isn't it gorgeous today? We've been dying to use the pond all week." I kept my voice steady. "This is private property. I never said anyone could swim here." She blinked, like I'd spoken gibberish. "Communal recreation zones, page 36 of the binder." I stared. "There's no real HOA." She laughed. "Maybe not legally, but everyone follows the guidelines. Keeps things friendly. No one minds." I wanted to yell. Instead, I turned, went inside, and posted in the neighborhood Facebook group Willow Creek Unity. "Hi neighbors, just a reminder, my pond is private property. Please don't trespass. Thanks. Big mistake." The comments blew up. Melinda fired first. "This is very unneighborly. The pond's always been a community space, why change that now?" Then came a flood of strangers agreeing, preaching about how exclusion sows discord and how Ethan needs to lighten up. One guy posted a selfie by my pond captioned, "Nature heals. The community view I best." The kicker? A blurry sunset photo. Turns out it was one of Melinda's pals squatting in the reeds by my fishing spot, captioned, "Too far from the house, oops lol." My eye twitched. That night, I checked the pond with a flashlight. Found a chip bag, a cracked cup bobbing by the shore, and worst of Elmy fishing rod gone. The next day I put up no trespassing signs along the path. Kept it polite, hoping to avoid a war. By afternoon, 2 signs vanished, replaced with a laminated note, "Let's keep sharing and caring." That's when I realized I wasn't just facing an entitled neighbor, I was up against a woman who'd conjured a fake HOA, roped the neighborhood into her delusion, and decided my land was her personal fiefdom. I called my buddy Ryan that night. "I'm about to get petty," I said. He laughed. "Spill it." By the next weekend, my yard looked like a budget resort, strange inflatables, a hidden speaker pumping club beats, pool toys littering the pond's edge. I watched from my deck as a woman I didn't know sunscreened her kid and waved like I was staff. It was bizarre, equal parts absurd and infuriating. Melinda wasn't just play acting in HOA. She built a fantasy where I was either in VY Cybele or her groundskeeper. I decided to confront her, not with anger, but with a quiet resolve that unnerved people. I waited until one of her swim days wound down, the crowd thinning as the sun dipped. She stood on my dock, drying off with a monogrammed towel that wasn't hers. I walked up slow. "We need to talk." She barely glanced up. "About what?" "Great turnout today, so much good energy. Even little Max learned to float." I let the silence settle. "Melinda, you're trespassing. All of you. That pond's on my D, not some HOA playground. This is my backyard." She lifted her sunglasses, turning to me. "Ethan, I get you're new, but we've always treated the pond as a community spot. It builds trust. Tradition matters." "It's not a tradition if you made it up 2 months ago," I shot back. She waved it off. "Tom and I have been here over 10 years. We know what works." Her husband Tom, who I barely knew, was nearby folding chairs. He flashed me a half-smile that screamed apology. I noted that. "Look," I said, "I'm asking nicely one last time. No more pond, no more parties, no more guests. This isn't optional." She chuckled. "Are you threatening me with legal stuff?" "No," I said. "I'm promising it." That night, I called the sheriff's office not to press charges, just to log it. Deputy Sarah listened, paused, then snorted. "What?" "HOA approved," I said. She grinned. "No real HOA out here. I know we get calls from folks like her every summer over porch colors. We'll swing by, back you up. Want a survey crew?" I hadn't thought of it, but she was right. If I was drawing a line, I'd make it literal. Midweek, surveyors staked my property with neon flagged pond, dock, trees, all mine. I ordered a short fence around the pond's edge, nothing huge, just a quiet claim. Melinda fired back on Facebook. "It is with deep sadness I must report." She painted me as a hermit hoarding nature, tossing out terms like environmental selfishness and anti-community vibe. She called my fence an attack on the neighborhood's heart. Comments split, half rallied behind her, half quietly liked my reply with the survey pics. Then someone posted a video of Melinda by the pond, sloshing a seltzer and declaring it public land. That's when Tom texted me. "Sorry about this. If you need help stopping it, I'm in." "Why now?" I asked. "Last weekend, strangers used our bathroom. Someone left wet socks on my shelf." I felt a spark of hope. I crashed a neighborhood wine night in a cul-de-sac, not to chat but to watch. Melinda rolled in late, gold top gleaming, hijacking a conversation to moan about the energy shift since my fence. Then she bragged loud about MOVYing my signs with friends, laughing, "Ethan's too nice to fight back. They always cave." Ryan, there for backup, recorded it all from behind a wine glass. We replayed it later in my kitchen, howling at her smugness like she was the star of some suburban soap opera, desperate HOA queens of Willow Creek. "We're ending this," I told Ryan. "Not with lawyer, with something she'll never forget." He grinned. "Time to bring the stink." The smell hit slow, seeping through the trees, thick and rancid, sharp, earthy, gut-punching. It came from my ponder what it had become. Operation Mud Bath was a masterpiece. I teamed up with a farmer Ryan knew, who had a tanker of liquid manure, fermented, potent, field-ruining filth. We picked a Saturday, one of Melinda's swim days. The truck rolled in at dawn. The driver, Hank, smirked like he lived for this. The host stretched to the pond's edge. We waited. By 10, her crew arrived, SUVs, moms in yoga gear, coolers, that damn speaker. Melinda strutted in late, hat wide, cover-up pristine, kissing cheeks and chirping. "The water's so crisp today. Our signal." Hank fired up the hose. A thick brown torrent splattered into the pond. Chaos erupted. A woman waiting screamed and bolted. Kids gagged on their floatai. A guy clutched his nose, yelling, "What is that?" Melinda whirled, gaping at the hose. "What's happening?" Ryan filmed from my porch. I stepped out, mug in hand, casual. "Fertilizing the pond. Spring prep, great for algae." Her eyes bulged. "People are in there." "You mean trespassers who ignored warnings?" "They'll live. It's organic." It unraveled fast, gagging, slipping, a sandal lost in muck, a woman smearing manure on her leg, jumping the fence. By noon, the pond reeked, flies buzzed, and Melinda fled, yelling about lawsuits. Tom lingered. "She deserved it," he muttered, then left. Ryan posted the video. Raw footage of entitled "Panic, My Deadpan, It's Organic," captioned, "Spring cleaning at the community oasis. Enjoy responsibly." The group went wild, some raged, others cackled. One neighbor wrote, "I'm framing this." Melinda ranted about poisoning kids and violating her rights, calling an HOA meeting with her pal Cindy, who replied, "Wait, we're meeting," and quit. Then the mod, Grace, stripped Melinda's admin status. Silent, brutal, perfect. Tom posted in a block chat, "Melinda doesn't speak for us. We back property rights and are out of leadership." Also found a random swimsuit in our dryer, claim it or it's toast. Silence fell. Melinda tried the health department, claiming biohazard. The inspector shrugged at me, land, legal fertilizer, no rules broken. That video? Hilarious, he added. Her cursive letter demanding shared access got framed in my garage next to a muddy flip-flop. The Great Pond stink shifted everything. Neighbors spilled Melinda's stories, mailbox paint demands, parking notes. Grace suggested a real committee, chill, practical. I passed, nominating Ryan. He joined Tom too, turning passive onlookers into a grounded crew. Tom jogged now, free, smiling real. Melinda faded, curtains shut, social media dark. Her concerned citizens flopped. My pond heel filter, bacteria, koi, solar lights. I hosted a barbecue, burger, spears, fire pit. Grace replayed the video, we laughed. Melinda's curtain twitched. I toasted her shadow. Ryan smirked. Think she'll resurface? Only for another bath, I said. We clinked glasses. Frogs croaked, lights shimmered, and it was homine, finally, no cannonballs in sight. The host stayed ready.